You were the face of the league for almost 15 years. My entire high school growing up and watching baseball, you were the guy everybody loved watching. Nowadays, Mike Trout can walk down the street and nobody can even recognize him. What is it that guy's not doing that you were able to do?
Nothing. I just think that, Mike is a very private person. I understand, privacy and things like that. But, Mike is, I love to see him play, him and Bryce and all the young guys coming up. But, there's certain things guys, draw the line of what they want and what they don't want. And he's a private person. And, it's for me, I told my mom that I wanted my own shoe. Well, I knew that you have to do things if you want your own shoe. So, I was able to get that. And I knew that there were certain things that were going to happen after that, being a pitch man for companies, that you've got to do certain things and they want certain days. But I don't think that Mike's done anything wrong. I just think he's a very private person and he has his ways, and this is the way he lives his life. I mean, one of the Nike trips I was supposed to go on, I missed. He was on, and every other one that I've been on, he hasn't been on, but he's a great ball player, and, it's fun to watch. But like I said, he's just a private person.
Had it not been for the injuries in your career towards the end, and you being probably one of the few clean players that came out of that generation, you and Frank Thomas and a couple other guys, had it not been for the injuries and all that, how many home runs do you think you could have ended with had it not been for the Sunday?
I don't really look at I don't look at those things. A lot of my stuff is trying to make the team better. Whether it be running into a wall, diving in the outfield, trying to stay in a rundown so my teammates could get an extra base, trying to score from second. It's nothing like, I fail and, I hurt the team that way. It's always been on the field stuff. So I don't look at it that way. I did my best. Injuries are a part of the game. I mean, you look what happened a couple of days ago to Dak,
At Prescott.
Yeah. So, he's trying to make a play, trying to help his team, and he's going to be sidelined for 4 to 6 months and maybe longer.
That was pretty gruesome.
Those things happen. And, you don't wish those on anybody, but, he's going to come back. I came back. I mean, I've had 20 surgeries from baseball.
Wow.
Yeah. But, it is what it is. Would I change anything? Absolutely not. Every ball hit to me in center field is fair. So it's just a matter of will. Do I want to will myself into running into a wall? Some people don't have that mechanism. They'll pull up. But, I have it that I want to catch the ball at all costs. I'll worry about what happens aftermath. But right now, in the moment, I'm going to go out there and give you 100%.
Awesome. Towards the end of your career, I actually got a chance to kind of, I don't want to say be around you, but I covered some White Sox games. You were in Chicago. What did you like here about the food? Was there a certain pizza you liked to get? Were you on the Italian beef side? Or what were you all about here in Chicago?
Well, I have family who live there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So they're constantly, because the funny thing is that when Melissa called, when they found out I was coming to Chicago, they said, "Oh, we got you." And I was like, "What does that mean?" So I'd come home, my apartment, it'd be clean. My apartment would be stocked full of food. Like, oh. But they knew that, that Melissa made a call to my family, like, "Hey, he's coming there. He's coming there by himself because the kids are in school, blah, blah, blah." They were like, "No, don't worry, sis. We got him." But, there's a little Japanese restaurant that I like, Rana Japan.
Yeah.
That is a good place.
Yes.
With the lobster cardiac sauce.
Yes. The we're going to take you straight to the hospital with.
And it's right by Northwestern too.
It's a staple.
And there's certain things, you wanted the deep dish pizza.
Staple.
So it was funny because my cousin called, and when she started speaking, the guy on the phone was like, "Hey, Kathy, is that you?" Like he already knew the voice. He was trying to figure, you want the same order? And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Really? He knows your voice? You call here that much that he knows your voice?"
Dropping that name.
Yeah, and then you got your other restaurants. The man himself, the legendary Coach. Did you get to go there?
That guy.
Look, I only want to say it because he got a bear shirt on right now.
I didn't think we were going to be doing a video call, my man. I would have dressed a little nicer for the part.
Thought it was audio.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, in terms of who you are, first of all, you've had the greatest baseball game I've ever played in my entire life, as far as a video game is concerned. So I had a lot of people ask you about what it's like to even have your own video game. Forget the shoe. I think every kid really dreams going, I want my own video game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Every now and then I bring it out to mine. I'm like, hey, because my youngest, Tevin. He goes, "Dad, tell me, how's it feel how did you play back in the day?" And I was like, and I was still playing at the time. I was like 38. He goes, "How do you feel about playing back in the day?" And I'm like, "Oh, hold on." So, I bring out the video games. He's like, "You had your own video game?" I said, "Shoot, video game. What else you want?"
All of it.
And he just started laughing because, when they get to a certain point, I mean, he's 6 and he had no idea that I had all this stuff, but because we just don't, the only reason why you look at my Golden Gloves behind me at the time is because my wife put them there. For me, I'd unboxed one, and that was it.
Well, what's the point of having them if you ain't going to show them?
It means I got to box them up.
Kenny, these kids, they know nothing. I was watching, they had a ESPN Classic game. It was a 1980 World Series, and my dad's catching. And I'm trying to show my twins. It's like, "That's your grandpa right there." Like, "Who, the hitter?" I said, "No, guy catching." These kids got no clue. You're right. It's back in the day.
Yeah, it's back in the day. My dad showed a high school football game of him. In black and white.
That's about a 2 second, 2 seconds, and they're done. And they're out.
He's running down the field, and Tevin and Trey go, "Grandpa, which one are you?" He goes, "I'm that guy. I got the ball." And they just look at him. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
well, that is awesome. Also, and I've said this to a couple people before, and I've even said to Brett too, if my son ever shows anything more excitement than space and dinosaurs right now, at some point I hope he's watching sports with me. If he says he wants to watch basketball, I will show him hours and hours of Michael Jordan. And if he says I want to watch baseball, I will make him YouTube your swing. It is the greatest swing of all time. That's got to bring you a smile to your face every time somebody says that, because it's one of the few things that, I mean, it's like, well, I'm a radio guy. When people say I have a nice voice, it's like, you kind of want that. You're like, of course, it's kind of something you want to know. But when someone says you have the greatest swing of all time in all the hundreds of years baseball's played, it's got to be fair.
Left-handers ain't fair.
It's not.
Lefties just got prettier swings.
No, we just look better.
Come on, Kenny.